Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. Sounds coming through okay? Yes it is. Welcome back. Tonight we're back with round 6 of the GTTCC hosted by Mature Racing Club over there on Facebook. Go click the like buttons, go join up if you want to get involved. If you want some racing, go sign up to Facebook, Mature Racing Club, and get yourself involved in some of these leagues. So we are back tonight for round 6. It is a double header live from St. Croix or St. Croix. We've got, what have we got? We've got St. Croix B and St. Croix C tonight. Both use similar bits of track, but St. Croix C being the longer version. Very, very different. So let's get ourselves into the lobby. I'll read points out as we go through qualifying, just because they're on a nasty spreadsheet and they don't look very pretty. Merch still available, people. Only smalls and mediums of the shirts, but plenty of stickers available if you want any of those. But quali already underway then. Let's see who we've got in the room. Hirakram, Dylan, Faithless, Fabuki, Fat Pickles. We've got Manny, Don, Janio and Mocking Weeks all out on track. So let's get some points out. Let's have a look then, shall we? So Dylan leading the way. He's had a few good weeks. Many points. He is sitting on 191 points as we enter round 6. We've got Fabuki sitting in second. He's got himself 145 points, so quite a big gap to make up, to try and catch Dylan before the end of the season. Mocking Week sitting in third position. He's got himself 124 points, and then again quite a big gap to chase down for second. Hirakram sitting in fourth position. He's got himself 120 points. We've got P1 Don in fifth. He's got 111 points. Nipping at his heels though with Faithless Emo in sixth. He's got himself 110 points. And then not far behind him, Fat Pickles Bro in 7th has 98 points on board. And then we have, who's next? Manny, he's sitting in 8th. He's got himself 75 points on the board. LFC Fan in 9th with 67 points. Again, nipping at his heels is Valtteri 82. He's got himself 66 points, so just a single point behind. We've got P. Gibb in 11th. He's got 63 points. We've got Janio 12th. He's got 53 points. V. Show in 13th with 28 points. And Total Rose 14th with 14 points, but we've not seen him since round 1. And the same for Potomac Pot, I think, 15th on the in the championship, but only 9 points on the board. How many races has he raced? Just one. Yeah, just one. So Potter and Total Rose not in from the start of the season. Let's get ourselves in then and have a look at these lap times, shall we? So on their out laps now then. So 15 minutes quali, we are 4 minutes into that already. There is a little bit of a procession going on at the minute. I'll turn the sound on so you lot can hear it again. How about that? Mr. Gibb, evening. You're not racing? I didn't see you in the lobby. No. Why aren't you racing, Mr. Gibb? Down towards this final corner, then we'll start to see these times coming in. And we've still got some wavy lobbies going on. Or lobbies, wobblies. So it is currently Fat Pickles driving that great big spaceship looking Bugatti. He's got himself a 2:18.0. Still got a couple of drivers left to cross the line, so that might change. James told him to do it apparently. You need to stop hanging around with James maybe. That is everyone across the line. So far it is Fat Pickles on pole position. Mocking Weeks second. He's got himself 2:18.1. Fabuki in third, 2:18.4. Dylan fifth in the Ferrari, 2:18.6. Hirakram seventh. What? Sixth. Why is Dylan sixth? He wasn't. Dylan was fourth. 2:18.6. Hirakram fifth. 2:18.9 in the Lamborghini. Manny, 2:19.2 for Manny. Don has got himself a 2:19.4. Faithless, just clips the wall there, 2:20.6 at the minute. And Janio, 9th, 2:20.6 for him as well. Away again, back for the last two rounds. Okay, so we're going to see P. Gibb next week and the following week for the finals. See if he can claw some points back. Yeah, still a little bit wavy. Just seems Fat Pickles in particular. You'll notice they're only happening when they're steering. And it's not all drivers. The lobbies have got slightly better. Bit of a wobble there from Dylan. You see that slight camera shake, the car shake a tiny little bit when they go around the corners. Not quite super stable yet, but they're getting there. It's taken them long enough, flipping it. Dylan with a tiny bit of glitching, and Fat Pickles, I think, really. Oh, Hirakram found some time. 2:17.8 in the Lambo. But Dylan comes through right behind him to take that pole off him. 2:17.744 in the Ferrari. Who's that coming up to the line? Let's go on board for a lap with P1 Don. So down towards turn one, 90-degree right-hander, starts to run up the hill as you exit this corner. Through the little kink right as you run up the hill into the 90-degree left. You'll see a lot of people vying for position into these first few corners. So staying over to the right-hand side. Down the hill, through the right, into the left, and then into the right, onto the bridge. A great big change in tarmac as they come onto this bridge, which can, there you go, unsettle the car a little bit just as they come onto this bridge section. There is a little bit of the same on the way out, not so dramatic though. And over the bridge, it's going to be a hard 90-degree left when he comes to the end. Just got to be careful of this outside wall as well. We did see Faithless Emo catch his wing mirrors and maybe his wing through there. So through this little right, just have to let off halfway through, otherwise it just pushes you out wide into that wall on the left. Now, not the long straight in St. Croix, but a little bit of a straight down here, and then we peel off to the right and run back up the hill to the right-hand elbow at the top. Positions to be made there as well. If you can get a good run on someone down that straight, it's a good opportunity to have an attack into these last part of this course. Then through the wiggles, the left, right, left, onto the penultimate straight, just running down the hill. There's the penalty section markers. Final corner coming up then, 90-degree right-hander back onto this start-finish straight. Keeping it out of the wall on the left there as well. Done. Clean lap. Let's see what sort of time he puts in. He's not able to go quicker, unfortunately. It's a 2:19.1, but why hasn't that registered properly? Oh, it has. Okay, so it's flipped back up to blue now, so it did go quicker. I thought it did. So 10 minutes into qualifying, and Dylan is still holding the top spot with that 2:17.4. Here Croix back out, fresh set of tyres to play with for him. Fat Pickles gets pushed down to third. Mocky Weeks fourth position, Fabuki fifth. Janio 6th, Manny 7th, Don 8th, and Faithless 9th on the grid at the minute. A few minutes left then to try and better those times. That bump on the exit onto the bridge is lethal. Yeah, it's a little bit more controllable in the GR4s, but the GR3s, which are all rear-wheel drive, it just likes to let the rears go coming onto the bridge or off the bridge, depending on which way round the circuit is. Faithless Emo could be streaming his race live, so you may see both races from this perspective. I don't know how he races actually. Drift of the Lamborghini coming out of that final corner then, peeling over into the pits anyway for Faithless. Fresh set of boots on for him. Oh, flicking through the cameras a little bit too quick there. Can Dylan hold on to this top spot then? Here Croix managed to take pole, but Dylan literally came across the line right behind him and took that straight off him. 2:20.8 that last lap. Again, fresh tyres to play with for Hirogram. Let's see how he gets on. Final 2.5 minutes coming up then of quali. Again, 2 races for you tonight. We've got St. Croix B, which we are at now, and then we jump over to the longer version of this circuit, which is St. Croix C. Sounding good. Fat Pickle still holding that third in the Bugatti then. Nobody moving up the field. 3 Lamborghinis out on circuit tonight. A couple of McLarens, some Ferraris. McLaren with P1 Don, Faithless Emo in the Lamborghini. Dylan also in the Ferrari. So they have to use different cars for different races as well. So whichever car they use for race 1 in week 1, they have to use for race 1 every week, and that's the same for the car they choose for race 2. So I think, if I remember rightly, Dylan has got the McLaren for race 2. What did you choose here, Croix? I can't remember your second choice. Lexus? Why do I want to say Lexus? What a lot of drivers' second cars are. We'll have to wait till race 2 to find out. I think Fabuki went McLaren and Honda. Oh yeah, he's in the Honda NSX for race 1. liveries all linked to charities if we couldn't actually find the charity logos. Let's have a flick through. So We Are Driven is one of the online groups that some of the sim racers have set up to promote different charitable events or charities. So that is it. Qualifying time done and dusted. People will get to finish the laps they're on. Dylan looks quite content though. He's not bothering with a hot lap this one. Croix still pushing though. There you go. Just getting caught out on that bridge. Kicks up a little bit of dirt on the way on. May slow him down a little bit. Purple sector though. Maybe benefiting with a little bit of a toe off. Oh, there's Manny facing the wrong way. Maybe benefiting off a slight toe from Faithless in front here, Croix. Oof, that won't be helping him. I was just about to say, Faithless Emo in front is creating a perfect sized Lamborghini shaped hole for Croix to slot through. I think this lap is now thrown in the bin with those couple of little indiscretions, one into the wall. Timing line coming up, let's have a look. Down 1.2, so it is going to be Dylan on pole position then, cruising across the bridge. Croix, unless anybody can beat him on this final lap, is going to be second. In fact, Pickles is going to be third as he rolls across the line. Croix should be fourth if everyone stays where they are. So good. Buki fifth, so his lap done. Janio sixth. Manny backwards into lots of drivers for seventh. Don comes home in eighth and Faithless ninth. So that is the running order for race one. Yeah, I was going to say the majority of the liveries are charity based, and if we couldn't find the actual logos, we've assigned a sort of normal race livery to that particular charity. So you'll notice on Faithless, let's get it's all race stuff. Okay, he has got Claire's house on the side. Alright, yeah, okay. Let me look at the side of your car, Don. Oh, because we're looking at the wrong side. So We Are Driven, AC, PMP as well on the side. Manny's got We Are Driven, Air Ambulance. Janio's got the Sparkle. Driven to Cure for Fubuki. So yeah, everyone linked to a charity by the looks of it. But here we go then. Race 1, St. Croix B. Just about to get underway. 30 minutes. GR4 class cars. Set to do a few laps around here. That's not the view we want. Give me external cameras, you damn game. So Fat Pickles trying to make his way past into second. Dylan's going to stay in the lead. Fat Pickles up the inside of Croix though. Croix's in the dirt. He does keep it pointing in a straight line, but lucky not to spin off there. Walking Weeks fourth, Manny fifth, Fubuki sixth, Janio seventh, sixth as he just sneaks up the inside of Fubuki to get that position. Faithless moves up a position as well into eighth. Don coming back, having a look at him. Closes the door. Dylan leading under no direct threat at the minute. 0.7 of a second lead already as they come onto the bridge. Pickles and Croix neck and neck. We'll be getting a little bit of a tow as they come down the bridge. They're still within the tow range of Dylan in front. Hirakram losing a bit of time coming off the bridge, although Fat Pickles did take a little bit of wall with him. I think he is glitching a tiny little bit, so that could be glitching. Might not have actually been contact, he does seem to be keeping pace. So maybe just a little glitch then. He keeps himself 0.7 of a second behind Dylan. Half a second back for Hirakram now in third. Watkins Wheat's another 0.6 second back in fourth. Janio 0.8 back just within the slipstream range, and then Faithless Emo also up a couple more positions, although Fabuki having a look up the inside into the elbow. Plenty of room given, but Fabuki does take that 6th position back. Faithless 7th, P1 Don in 8th, and Manny 9th. Looking for positions through there, but Dylan is still leading, unable to break away just yet. Still 0.7 of a second between himself and Fat Pickles. Hirakram gets a good run on Fat Pickles as they head down towards turn 1. Is it going to be enough for him to make a move up the inside? Is he going to wait till he runs up the hill into turns 2 and 3? Little lock-up of the brakes there from Hirakram. Putting slightly out of attack range now. Watkins Wheat's just within that slipstream range. Janio just falling out of the slipstream range, 1.1, 1.2 seconds now. Got to be careful. Fabuki, Faithless Emo, Manny and Don not too far behind. McLaren's having a bit of a punch up at the back here. Everyone's tyres squealing as they come through there. There's that kick onto the bridge. Faithless Emo keeping that Lamborghini pointing in a straight line. Dylan not putting a foot wrong, stretching a lead out then. 1.3 seconds now between himself and Fat Pickles, who has now got Hirakram up the inside. Not getting a great exit off the bridge then, Fat Pickles. Hirakram through into second then. Can Fat Pickles get the run back on him? Closes up, Hirakram holds that inside line. Fat Pickles sneaks his way back up the inside. Is it going to be enough? Lamborghini versus Bugatti as they come into this elbow. A little bit of glitching, but it is Hirakram that holds on to it. You swine game. Dylan then stretches even further, 1.5 seconds now. Can Hirakram bring that time back down? Clip of the wall will not help his chances. 1.8, he puts himself back under threat from Fat Pickles now. Yeah, just that little waviness from some of these drivers. Seems to be Fat Pickles mostly on the outboard cameras, but when we jump on with Fat Pickles it seems to be everybody else that's jumping about, so Wheats now 2 seconds back. Janio falling into the clutches of Fabuki. He's managed to sneak through into 3rd position. Janio now, 5th position. Janio now 6th. Manny 7th. Don 8th. Faithless back to 9th. Made a mistake somewhere, Faithless. Coming back at the McLaren though. Faithless went into the end of the wall there, but I think again that was just a little bit of a glitch. No damage on his car. Keeps himself just 0.6 of it. Look at these pedestrians, not even bothered with the racing. What's wrong with them? Just the sound of these things going past is enough to make you want to stop and look. 2-second lead then for Dylan. Hirakram doing everything he can, but not able to close that gap up yet. Still got Fat Pickles for company, just 0.8 of a second back as well. Top 3 then, pulled 2.2 seconds over Mockin in 4th. Can Fabuki close the gap up? Still under a bit of threat from Janio. He wants that position back. Get it through there. Manny closes the gap up on those two. Don and Faithless falling off that fight a little bit. 1.3 seconds, nearly 1.4 seconds down. Dylan then comes to start lap 4, still holding 2 seconds, 2.1 now. Cram in the Lamborghini, pushing hard. He's managed to pull another 10th over Fat Pickles, but not been able to close that gap up on Dylan in front. Weeks on his second Ferrari. Is falling back into Fabuki's hands a little bit. That just drops below 2 seconds there then. Fabuki is dragging Janio and Manny with him. Again, Don and Faithless Emo not too far back. Faithless picks up a second penalty. Possibly cut turn 1 a little bit tight. There is a great big chunk of AstroTurf on the inside of turn 1. Oh! Lamborghini coming in all sorts of shapes into that corner. A little bit further back from P1 Don, and he's got that penalty to lose. Janio falls back another position into 7th. Manny manages to get past on the way across the bridge, but Janio, if he can get a run on Manny on the way out of here, might be able to get that position back as they run up to that elbow. Manny's trying not to give him any kind of tow though. Go for the Lamborghini of Janio closing up. Manny hugging that inside line. A little bit of bump drafting as they run up the hill. Try and close that gap up on Fabuki in front. Manny kicks up a bit of dirt. Are you going to let me have outboard cameras? No, you're not. To reach over and press a key. That's about all the keyboard's good for at the minute on PlayStation. So Janio has to settle for 7th at the minute. P1 Don closing up on that fight. Faithless Emo now 3 seconds back after dropping that penalty. Oh, and a little clip of the wall as well. Huracram kicking up the dirt through turn 1. Managed to close that gap up on Dylan. Possibly a little mistake from Dylan. He's down to 1.4 second lead. Yeah, I think it must have been a tiny little mistake because Fat Pickles has not fallen too far back from Huracram. Down to 1.3 seconds for the 3rd place driver. There's those wobbly lobbies. Weeks has fallen back now, 4.2 seconds. There is Fabuki right behind him, hunting him down for that 4th position. Manny another 2.6 seconds back. Didn't even see Janio behind him. He's still looking for that position. This is where we saw Manny get that position off of him. Janio hasn't managed to get that one back, then has to settle for 7th. But Don now 0.8 of a second behind these two as well. Get a good tow up this semi-long straight. Gap down to 0.7 of a second. Faithless Emo falls another second back, 4.1. Just keep an eye on Don. He closes up, pulls another 10th. 2 tenths on Janio, right in the thick of it now with those two. back up front then. Dylan keeping it calm. Holding that 1.4 seconds. Actually finding a little bit more time there. Gets that time straight back up to 2.2 seconds. Oh, maybe a little mistake by Hirakram then. A gap between himself and Dylan stretched back up, and the gap between himself and Fat Pickles comes down. Bugatti chewing through tyres though pretty quickly. Little step out for Hirakram there as well. Be happy to see that 2-second gap between himself and Hirakram. Fubuki gets past Mocking Weeks into 4th then, pushing the Honda NSX hard in race 1 then. Fubuki Weeks 5th, another 2.4 seconds behind him is the battle for 6th. Got Manny, Janio and Don still pretty close together. Unfortunately, Faithless not having a great race 1 here, loses almost another second. Wobbly lobbies. Dylan keeps it clean through there. 2.2 seconds now between himself and Hirakram. He's managed to drop the toe for Fat Pickles as well. Gets him slightly out of the danger zone. What's Fubuki? 4.6 seconds back. There he is. He's pulled a great big chunk of time over Mocking Weeks already. 1.5 seconds. Fubuki close up on the front 3. We are pretty much halfway through race 1. Staying at 4.6 seconds between Fubuki and Fat Pickles at the minute. Takes 3-4 tenths out of that time and more. Definitely looking closer now for Fubuki. You can see that the rear end of that Bugatti a little bit more clearly through the mist. Again, finds a little bit more time through there. Got the man leading. Staying exactly where he needs to be, still holding that 2.1 from Hirakram behind him. Ooh, there's the kick. There's the gap. Hirakram now 2.2, nearly 2.3 seconds behind Dylan. Tyre wear maybe starting to affect Hirakram a little bit more. They're very similar on tyre. They're exactly the same on tyre wear, in fact, 1st and 2nd. It's the poor old Bugatti behind that's destroying its left-hand side tyres at the minute. Ooh, big heavy W12 being dragged down the street. Fubuki has found a bit more time. That gap I just saw flick to 3.8 seconds. So the Bugatti we know is fast in a straight line. It's got one of the fastest top speeds. Possibly not the best for manoeuvrability with the size of it. A bit of time again there, 4.2 seconds. I think able to catch up a little bit through the twisty sections, but loses back out again on the faster, longer straights. the Bugatti just comes into its own a little bit. Dylan, race leader, comes into the pits then. Hirakram follows him in. Fat Pickles comes in. Fubuki in. Everyone coming in pretty much at the halfway mark. Not mocking Weeks though. He's not having it. Manny also follows him off. Manny is right behind Mocky Weeks here. Anybody else in this train? No. Looks like everybody else is coming. Faithless stays out as well. Dylan back out on track then. Fresh set of racing softs on board for the second stint. What is he? 11.5 back from race leader Mockin. That position should easily be his again when these three come in the pits. Top three not stopped yet, and Dylan is already closing up on Faithless Emo. Hirakram now 2.7 seconds behind him. Losing out in that pit window as well then for Hirakram. So Manny then uses the power of the McLaren to get past the Ferrari. Into first he goes. Mocking Weeks second, Faithless third. Top three not stopped yet. Dylan taking the gap between himself and Faithless down by about half a second. Time between himself and race leader Manny down a second as well. Again, these positions will fall away when these top three come in the pits. Still got, look at the amount of fuel Mocking Weeks has got on board. Plenty. I think this has got a fair old chunk as well. Dylan corner by corner, just taking a tenth out of him. Now, will we see the top three come in yet? Manny stays out, Mockin stays out, Faithless. He's got plenty of fuel on to do a lap or two more, but he's not going to do it. He peels over to the right hand side, into the pits he comes. I'll jump out of that camera before it locks me into it on board. So Manny and Mockin staying out there. Dylan regains third position. Fat Pickles also taking a position. What's happened to Hirakram? I'm not too sure, but Fat Pickles has managed to squidge through into fourth position. He's now 4.2 seconds back from Dylan. Hirakram, unfortunately, now 2.5 seconds back from Fat Pickles. Maybe a little wiggle and getting it wrong onto the bridge. There's no damage on his car, which could have happened on the other side of the circuit. But yeah, a bit of a fight on his hand now for Hirakram. That's going to put him back in third when the top three come in. Sorry, top two come in now. Faithless already peeling off and into the pits. So just Manny and Mockin left to pit then. First and second position. Dylan, from an 11 or 12 second deficit, has brought it down to 9 seconds. It just drops below 9 then. So we'll easily retake the positions of Manny and Mockin. Looking at the times, nobody been able to close up on anybody else yet. Hirakram still 2.8 seconds behind Fat Pickles. Fubuki comfortably in 6th at the minute, 5.5 seconds behind Hirakram. He's got 2.2 seconds over Janio. Race leader Manny comes in. Looks like Mocking Weeks has stayed out for another lap as well. Yes, he has. Again, still got a quarter of a tank left as Mocking. That does allow Dylan back into second. So he's now got 7.7 seconds to try and make up on Mocking. Again, Mocking's still going to take a pit. Sure what's happening with Hurricane, but he's losing time here to Fat Pickles. The gap up to 3.1. It was about 2.6, 2.7. Fresh set of tyres on board. Maybe a little bit of fuel saving. Did you not take on enough fuel? Where's Dylan? How much fuel's he got? Oh no, looking alright. Looking very similar to everyone else. Maybe just not getting on in stint 2 for some reason. Mocking going to risk it. His tyres are looking pretty beaten up at the minute. That time's not affected too much. He's been pretty much consistent in the 2:19 and a halves. 1:2:20, one very low 2:19, but yeah, very consistent 2:19 and a halves pretty much. Dylan, if we look, has put 2:17s, 2:18s, 2:24 and a 2:40 on his out lap and sorry, his first lap and out lap. Still closing the gap up on Mocking then. Mocking stays out for another lap here. 23.5 minutes in. Risking a no stop. Just catch Dylan putting in fastest lap of the race so far, 2:17.2. He'd already held the previous fastest lap at 2:17.6 on lap 2, but now retakes it on lap 10. Pickles not able to take any time out of Dylan, but again Hurricane not been able to take any time out of Fat Pickles either. That gap is still 3.4 seconds. Again, the Bugatti does like to eat tyres though, so we'll see what happens in the last couple of laps. Again, a little bit more wear showing on Fat Pickles tyres than there is Hurricane's. Might come into play at the end, we'll see. Whether it's enough to make up that 3.3 second deficit, I don't know. There is Fubuki in the background holding 5th. 5.2 seconds back. It's been a bit of a slog for Fubuki to get back into 5th. Janio is 6th. Oh, a little clip of the wall for him. It's going to bring him into attack range of Manny, I think. A little clip of the wall. Keeps it just above the 1.1 second mark, so not quite able to get the toe for Manny. Don 4.3 seconds down in 8th. Faithless 18.4 down. Yeah, not had a great race 1 tonight. Faithless. Weeks down towards this final corner again. So 4.5 minutes remaining. I don't think he might have. Has he got enough fuel to do the rest of the race? Has he got 2 more laps of fuel on board? He's not going to keep first position. Dylan is closing up far too quickly. The gap down to 2.4 seconds. Consistent 2:17s for Dylan last 3 laps. Weeks is 2:19, 2:19 and 2:20, so definitely falling into Dylan's hands here. Yeah, it looks like Mockin's attempting a no-stop. May have to do a little bit of fuel saving at the end of the race. In fact, already doing a little bit of fuel saving, I think. Changing gears at very low revs, trying to get the RPMs all the way up. 3/4 of the way up the rev range. But his tank has just started flashing red, which tells me he's got about 1 lap's worth of fuel left. Which might work out about right, but it might mean he either has to do some severe fuel saving or he runs out of fuel. Halfway round the final lap. Tyres beaten up, fuel running out. What can Mockin Weeks make of this race? Dylan right behind him now though, 2 Ferraris. Just 0.7 of a second in it. Dylan right in the slipstream. Fuel coming up to the end of lap 12. Has it just started raining? Why do I think it's just started raining? Oh, that's the wrong button. Trying to get on board with Mockin as Dylan goes for the move here. Stop it. There it is then, Dylan into first. Fresh set of tyres to play with. Fresh-ish set of tyres to play with and plenty of fuel on board. This will become last lap then. Now it's all about Mockin Weeks. Has he preserved enough fuel? He's got 5.9 seconds, almost 6 seconds over Fat Pickles in third. We'll see. Might just have enough here to run a full race without stopping. Dylan already stretching out then, 1.3 seconds. Mockin Weeks in second position. Fat Pickles, yeah, he's starting to close the gap then, so definitely some fuel saving happening from Mockin Weeks. Can he hold on to second? Hirokram not too far back either, starts pulling that time down on Fat Pickles. Might be a little too late to get Fat Pickles, but with Mockin Weeks fuel saving, both of these drivers, Hirokram almost out of fuel as well though. Might be in the same boat here, I don't know. Fat Pickles flashing red. Mockin Weeks holding that second. 15 seconds remaining then. And another 20 to the line now. Comfortably through the wiggles for Dylan. Looks like Mockin Weeks is going to have enough fuel to finish this race. So it is going to be Dylan. There's the checkered flag being waved for him now. Then he peels across to the pits, gives a flash of the lights, takes the win here then for race 1. Mockin Weeks is going to come home in second with enough fuel. Fat Pickles takes third. He'll be happy with that. Hirokram at fourth. That is the crappiest camera angle ever, PlayStation. Fabuki took fifth, but I think Janio was pretty close behind him. Oh no, he wasn't. Like he was. Janio takes sixth, then Manny takes seventh, Don takes eighth. Faithless Emo kicking up the dirt. He's going to come home in ninth in race 1. Does put him on pole position for race 2 though. There it is, race 1 done from St. Croix B. Win on the cards for Dylan again. So race 2 coming up, St. Croix C. Longer circuit. We'll see that when the lobby gets reset. So do we still run right in C, or do we run left at C? I don't know. Because this track goes all over the place. Yeah, Dylan just in the chat then saying nice strategy for mocking weeks. It paid out. Taking 2nd place. I'm going to attempt to drink some cold coffee, which might make me hurl. Yeah, cold rank coffee. But yeah, some good racing in race 1 there. I thought Hirakram was going to take 2nd. But yeah, just didn't seem to get on in stint 2. Not sure what happened. I'm sure we may find out in the chat at some point. There you go, mocking weeks, no stopping in race 1, taking that 2nd position. Drivers already heading out onto circuit for race 2 then. You can see the different circuit on track. We'll have a look at that. In fact, is anyone out on circuit? Let's get ourselves in. Nobody else going for a drive? No, just Faithless. So a long circuit here. Setup to race 1, a completely different set of corners. 1 or 2 you may recognise, but yeah, we do peel. Oh, Faithless getting it wrong through there. So race 1 we peeled right off the start line, but race 2 we peeled left. So we did turn right at the end of this building on the right hand side here, but we peeled left on this particular circuit. It is the Lexus 4 Hirakram, I thought it was. So now onto one of the longest, ooh, not great through there for Hirakram, onto one of the longest straights on the game. You will see a lot of drivers trying to make a move down here. Not the long straight, is it? I'm not even anywhere near the long straight yet. The long straight is the other side of the circuit. That's a long straight. But plenty of opportunities to overtake here at St. Croix C. Big wide track. Again, it's just not one that people race too often. So a lot of people not picking up as much practice. Not saying that Hirakram hasn't. I'm just saying it's one of the circuits that a lot of drivers don't seem to choose because it's so long. They don't spend much time on it. So a lot of drivers not getting the practice, not remembering which way the corners go. Especially, I think there's a few different variants for St. Croix as well, and you can reverse the tracks, which can really throw you out because a lot of the corners look very similar in certain parts of the track. So back onto the old bit of circuit we were racing on earlier, down the hill. We're going to hit the bridge section in a minute. Here we go. back across the bridge as we did in race 1. We're peeling left again at the end. Again, you can turn right at the end of that bridge on some of the circuits. Through this right-hander, and now we hit this long straight. Slipstream will be the advantage down here, or driving the Bugatti, which we know has got the highest top end. So race 1 we would have peeled off right up there, but on this instance we keep pinning it down this straight, heading straight towards the mountains, and a hard right hand elbow at the end, almost a hairpin. So you can imagine cars all right behind each other with the slipstream, all vying for position into that little tiny corner, and then we get into the tricky part of this St. Croix circuit. Left, right, left to contend with as we head back down towards these last few corners. Again, easy to get a little bit distracted by the scenery here at St. Croix. It is a very nice looking circuit. And now we run down the hill. We turn left now onto the start-finish straight. We would have come from where those barriers are in race 1, but we're back onto the start-finish straight, coming from completely the opposite side of the circuit. There we go, a lap at St. Croix C. And now you give me trackside cams. Yeah, McLaren for Mocking Weeks in race 2. Faithless in the Toyota GT86 or Supra or whatever you want to call it. Grabbing himself another little penalty as well there, Faithless. So Hirakram in the Lexus, Mocking in that Ferrari, Faithless in the McLaren for race 2. I think he would have quite liked the Bugatti for race 2 here with these long straights for Fat Pickles, but again, unfortunately you have to pick a car for race 1 and stick with it, and the same for race 2, and stick with it even if you get the corners wrong and put it in the wall. Don swapped to the Ferrari for race 2. Gianio has gone for the Ferrari in race 2. Manny Ferrari race 2. Fabuki has gone McLaren for race 2, and Dylan also in the McLaren for race 2. See what sort of top end speed the little Toyota's got. Oh no, we've got the penalty section halfway down this long straight. What a jip. So half a second penalty turns into about a second and a half down there, I'd have thought. Probably even longer. You lose so much speed. Doesn't quite equate. I don't think any of the penalty systems quite equate, really. Lexus sounding good. Fat Pickles testing the glitch and the traction on the McLaren. There are those great big mountains right in front of you. Hirakram getting called out on his car choice. I don't know why, he's raced it every other week. 20 points deducted. driver's been given the good luck shout. That tells me we're just about to get underway with race 2 then. There we go, lobby being reset. Faithless on pole then, Don 2nd, Manny 3rd, Janio 4th, Fabuki 5th, Hirokram 6th, Fat Pickles in 7th, Mocking Weeks in 8th, and Dylan in 9th. Can he get 2 wins in 2 races? Lights on then, we wait for them to drop. Race 2 underway now. Everybody getting a pretty good start. Don will have a slight advantage into turn 1. Faithless unable to run it up the inside and hold it there as they run into turn 2. So Don through into the lead then as we hit one of the long straights here. Faithless 2nd, Manny in 3rd, Janio 4th, Hirokram 5th. Oh, position swapping. Janio and Manny swapping positions. They could just be side by side with a bumper between them. But no, it does look like Janio's managed to get himself in front. Oh, there's chaos up front. Oh, Hirokram's nearly lost it, but Don and Faithless Emo having a coming together. I think Don got that corner a little bit wrong and caught Faithless Emo, or the opposite way round, I'm not too sure, but it does look like Faithless is holding back to give Don that position, so just a little coming together for those two. Luckily it's early on in the race, they're still not too far back from the main pack. Hopefully it doesn't impact their race too much, but that leaves Janio with the race lead currently. Ferrari 1st and 2nd. In the 1st of the McLarens then. Dylan already up into 4th. Fabuki right behind him in 5th. Hirokram looking to come through though, doesn't want to lose position or time to Dylan in front, so fighting hard to try and get that position off of Fabuki. Still just gets himself in front then. Hirokram into 5th, Fabuki 6th, Mocking Weeks 7th. There are Don and Faithless now bolted back onto the end of this fight. So coming up to the long straight now then. Who's going to benefit from this toe? They're going to get down here. Janio's within slipstream, sorry, Manny's within slipstream range. Oh, maybe not anymore. He's just clattered into the wall there, Manny. No damage, but that's slowed him down. Dylan already through into 2nd, carrying the speed. Fat Pickles right behind him though, also through into 3rd position. Manny 4th, Hirokram 5th, Fabuki 6th. Hirokram and Fabuki both running pretty fast down there. Are they going to have a move on Manny as well as they run into this elbow? Hirokram's up the inside. It might leave the door wide open for Fabuki to make his way through as well. He has. So Hirokram into 4th, Fabuki 5th, Manny 6th, Mocking 7th, Faithless up a position into 8th, and Don in 9th. But bumper to bumper action here then. Dylan already through into 2nd. Fat Pickles in 3rd. Hirokram at 4th. So through those wiggles, very difficult to get. Oh, Fabuki runs wide. Gets himself back on circuit. Oh no, Faithless Emo's gone through there all wrong. I don't think there was any kind of contact between himself and anybody else, but he's got a little bit of front end damage. That's going to take its time to repair. He's only just got himself pointing in a straight line as well, nearly 15 seconds behind Don. Stays out. I thought you were peeling in the pits then, Faithless, but no, stays out on track. Car repaired. Right, let's keep an eye on Faithless then. Can he get himself back up to speed? Other drivers have crashed. Manny's off through turn 1. Faithless comes right up behind him, sneaks through then. Oh, but runs a little bit deep now. Manny and Faithless side by side. don't like that, do you? Let's try that side then. That's a little bit smoother, but Faithless Emo, the Toyota, looks like it's got a little bit of extra power, but he's run deep into this corner. Manny coming back at him. Faithless will have the advantage through this next turn. Oof, I say that. Manny trying to run around the outside of him through there. Oh, unfortunately, Faithless has managed to pick himself up a penalty. So he'll have to lose that on that long section. Oh, he drives a bit deep through there anyway. That allows Manny to go through. Faithless, will he just stay bolted onto the back end of Manny? Try and use him to keep any kind of toe once he loses that penalty. We'll see. Give me trackside cameras, you Oh, we just catch. Oh, sure if there was contact there. We just catch Dylan through into the race lead. Fat Pickles second. Gets a little bit sideways through there. That's going to allow Hirokram to have a go at him. Everybody past Janio then. Top three, Dylan, Fat Pickles and Hirokram. Oh, it is Hirokram up the inside and gets the job done. Can Fat Pickles, but we are onto this long straight now. Let's get ourselves on board with Fat Pickles. Oh, trying to run around the outside there. That's a ridiculous kind of move, but it nearly worked. He keeps himself within tow range of Hirokram at least, and that gap is already coming down. Janio behind him fourth, just within slipstream range as well. Now, here we go. Are we going to see Fat Pickles make the move? Yes, we are. Carrying the speed. Past Hirokram he goes, back into second. Needs to defend the position now as they run into the corner. Oh, just carrying that extra speed. He's run deep though. Oh, manages to cut back across, keeps that second position, but runs himself off circuit on the exit. Hirokram carrying the speed through. Fat Pickles just giving plenty of room there. He knows he's going to be running slow out that corner. Has to give that position back to Hirokram. Unfortunately, with dirty tyres, he's had to give that position back to Janio as well. All going wrong in a couple of corners for Fat Pickles. Don and Mockin having a little bit of a battle there as well. Mockin's managed to pick himself up half a second penalty as well. Dylan now 1.6 seconds lead over Hirokram. Can he make the McLaren work the same as the Ferrari in race one? Hirokram now got the advantage of the Lexus, though Janio is giving him some grief as they run into turn two. It's in a good position here as well, Janio. Just 0.4 of a second back. Not one of the longest straights. It is. It's got a bit of length to it, but maybe not long enough for Janio to have a go for this position. It's closing up. Just not enough before the corner arrives. Dylan doing exactly what he did in race one, just keeping it consistent. Also loses a little bit of time through there, so from 1.6 down to 1.2. Hirokram pushing the Lexus hard then. Janio trying to stick with them this time. Fat Pickles in fourth position. Still got a little bit of glitching going on. Possibly causing him some issues, but P1 Don is now tucked right under his rear bumper. Monkey Weeks is just back into this fight, although he has got to lose this penalty. Again, that's going to make him fall off the back of this fight. Fabuki 7th, he's having a bit of a lonely one at the minute. 4.3 seconds back from Mockin. Oh, just catch him clipping a wall there as well, unfortunately. Manny in 8th, and yeah, Faithless Emo, unfortunately, after losing that penalty, we just catch him digging the sand as well. Now, 10 seconds, that's going to be even bigger. 10 seconds behind Manny. With Dylan then looking back at Hirakram on the chase. Managed to pull a little bit of time over Jainio as Hirakram, but loses time to Dylan. That gap up to 1.7 seconds. Dylan putting in purple sectors as well. Long straight. Nobody gaining an advantage down there. The gap stays at 1.6. Jainio filling the mirrors of Hirakram, giving him something else to think about rather than just the chase for first at the minute. Another purple sector. Oh, Hirakram be putting in purple sectors as well, because he's bringing that gap down from 1.7 back down to 1.4. Could be a fastest lap for Hirakram here. Is it a fastest lap from Dylan? Let's have a look. It is 3:44.3 from Dylan. Close for Hirakram, 3:44.4, but not enough. Dylan taking that the fastest lap so far then, nearly 12 minutes into race 2. Jainio still just 0.4 of a second behind Hirakram. Does look like Fat Pickles, Don and Mocking Wheats are slowly closing up on these two again. Wheats fallen back a little bit. Again, he had a penalty to lose, so that's dropped him off the back end of the fight between Fat Pickles and Don. Plenty of space behind him though, 4.5 seconds back to Fubuki in 7th. He's got himself 13.8 over Manny in 8th. Faithless Emo gets a couple of tenths back on Manny, but still a long way back. There is Manny just going through that corner. So Dylan in the McLaren, tyres looking very, very good. If we flick back to Hirakram, his tyres are screaming out already for a change. So although he's bringing the time down on Dylan, he is blowing his tyres out pretty quick. Oh, Fat Pickles into the wall. Has he lost any time? Maybe a little bit. Don all over the back of him. The worst bit of sideways glitching there, Fat Pickles, from my point of view. Again, we jump on board with him, it'll be everyone else that jumps about. Oh, still a little bit from Fat Pickles, alright. Oh, you do give me trackside. Flipping heck, make your mind up, game. They were then Dylan, Hirakram, Jainio. Gaps very similar as well. Jainio still within slipstream range of Hirakram. Again, Hirakram just keeping the gap between himself and Dylan at 1.3 seconds, but blowing his tyres out a lot quicker than the rest of the drivers. Another couple of tenths on Dylan through there. Still running quick then, the Lexus, even with worn out tyres. pit. Will he run to fuel, do we think? Are we going to see drivers do a no-stop again? That's possible with these long straights on here, obviously having to keep the throttle pinned all the way down there. So Janio closes the gap upon Hirakram. Nobody in the pits yet, 15 minutes in, halfway through race 2 here then. Dylan with a 1.3 second lead still, Hirakram second, Janio right behind him for third. He just needs to keep himself right where he is as they hit this little straight coming up. Let's see if he can then get a move on Hirakram. Looking quick though, the Lexus. We have had drivers in the pits. We'll come and have a look at that in a second. Here we go though. Are we going to see Janio? He sweeps out to the right hand side. Out breaks Hirakram. Get the corner right though. Hirakram comes straight back up the inside on the exit. Carries way more speed through there. Retakes second. Great bit of driving from Hirakram. It was a good attempt by Janio, but Hirakram just looked like he was fully aware of that. Went for the switch back up the inside, which worked a treat. Still very similar between Hirakram and Dylan as well. There's just 0.4 of a second between Hirakram and Janio. There's only 1.5 between Janio and race leader, so that gap coming down to about a second then actually. It is less than a second. Quarter of a tank on board for Dylan. Plenty of fuel on board for Hirakram. Again, although his tyres are hurting him, he's still putting in decent lap times. He's hanging on to the back of Dylan. Close that gap down a little bit. Again, I think tyre wear will start to affect him soon. Does that play into Janio's hands? His tyre's not looking too good. Nowhere near as good as Dylan's at the minute. Don's looking good as well in the Ferrari. Mockin meets in the McLaren. Oh, he's picked up 3-second penalty now, Mockin. So, although in 5th position, Manny is going to get that position off him when he has to lose that great big chunk of a penalty. Fat Pickles might even get that one off him as well. Been in the pits as well, Fat Pickles. Half a tank of fuel, fresh set of racing softs to play with. Buki also been in half a tank, fresh set of softs. Faithless been in half a tank, fresh set of softs. He is now 28.6 seconds behind anybody else on circuit. That will change when other drivers come in the pits, so we'll see how he gets on. So race leader Dylan. Not been able to stretch that lead back out. It is just a second at the minute. Hirakram's worn out tyres don't seem to be affecting him too much. Janio still not managed to work his way past either. His tyres starting to call out for a bit of a change. I think Don could be closing up on all 3 of them here. He's only 3.5 back from Dylan. He's only 1.8 back from Janio. Less than 4 seconds separate the top 4. Don is definitely closing up on these 3. Dylan finds time. Is he in the pits this lap? Is he faking it? He's in. Hirakram follows him. Janio stays out. Plenty of fuel on. His tyre's not looking too bad either. Don comes in also. What's going to happen with Manny? Not stopped yet. Still got a quarter of a tank on board. Fat Pickles Bro has been in, had fresh tyres, full half a tank of fuel. And he stops out for another lap then. Drivers back out on circuit. Janio still leading then after not stopping yet. 3-second lead. Again, that'll all go horribly wrong. Hirakram has made a move, saved the fuel on the way into the pits and has managed to jump Dylan on the way out. So he now has about a third of a tank, just over. He's got 1.9 seconds over Dylan. Fresh set of tyres to play with. Dylan holding a little bit more fuel. Now, can Dylan close the gap back up? Great strategy by Hirakram to get himself back in front. He managed to hang on to the back of Dylan, like I say. And although he was blowing his tyres out, he was saving a little bit more fuel than everybody else. And that saved him that second or two in the pits, which has managed to allow him to get in front of Dylan. Janio then still leading, but losing time. Worn out tyres just causing him to slow down a little bit, allowing these two to close up. Hirakram pulling a couple of tenths over Dylan, up to 2.1, nearly 2.2 seconds the gap. The question needs to be is if Hirakram has put enough fuel in. We are at 21 minutes, so only 9 minutes remaining. A little bit less fuel on board for Hirakram than there is Dylan. So we just hope Hirakram's got his strategy right. Doesn't seem to be doing any fuel saving as of yet. Manny's still not stopped in fourth. He's got Don, Fat Pickles and Mocking Weeks harassing him for this position though. Coming on to this long straight, Ferrari versus McLaren. Don closing up then, dragging Fat Pickles with him. Fat Pickles swings past as well. 3 wide as they come down here. 2 McLarens. Oh, sorry, it's the Ferrari McLaren. Side by side as they run down towards this elbow. Don with the advantage at the minute. He's got the inside line. Fat Pickles looking to outbrake him around the outside. And does the job. Fat Pickles then brings himself around the outside of Don into that corner. Takes 4th position. Hanging on in there, tyres worse for wear, still plenty of fuel on board. Is he now looking to do a no-stopper? Mocking Weeks filling his rear view mirrors now. Again, he will be running a little bit slow with worn out tyres. Mocking Weeks hasn't stopped for tyres either. He also might be going for a no-stop here. Fabuki has been in. Has Faithless Emo, so Hirakram still leads. 7 minutes remaining. Dylan has brought the time down though to 1.2 seconds. Stop that lap then. Fat Pickles into 3rd, Don 4th. Manny not stopped yet for 5th. Mocking Weeks not stopped yet for 6th. I think Mocking Weeks has got plenty of fuel on to do the rest of this race. Manny, not so much. We'll see. Fabuki just 2.7 seconds back. Janio another 2.2 after he just comes out of the pits. 1/4 of a tank of fuel and a fresh set of tyres. Can he make any positions up before the end of this race? 6 minutes left to have a go at that. And Faithless Emo, unfortunately, I think race 2 in the bin as well for Faithless. 32.5 seconds back from anybody else on circuit. So Dylan finds another couple of tenths, brings that gap to less than a second between himself and Hirakram. A little bit more fuel on board still for Dylan. There is the gap then, 0.9 of a second. Finds another 10.8 of a second, running down towards the bridge. the 10th there, Dylan. Gains it back on the way into the bridge though, just 3/4 of a second between these two. Again, they are coming onto this long straight. Well within slipstream range now then for Dylan. Great exit through there, gets the gap down to less than half a second. This little right-hander to go. Just closes up a tiny little bit more on Hirakram on the exit. 0.3 of a second. Now then, long straight. Is it enough for Dylan to get the move on Hirakram? 1/4 of a second, closing up. Hirakram goes defensive, but I think Dylan's going to be carrying too much speed. And through he goes. Can Hirakram make a move back? We saw him do it on, who was it, Fat Pickles earlier? Or Janio, sorry. Dylan wise to that though, keeps the car exactly where he needs to. Back into first for Dylan. Hirakram was second then. Again, just slight differences in fuel and tyres. Hirakram's again slightly more worn out. And that slight less fuel on board. I hope he has worked that out correctly. We've got 3 minutes remaining. We will have. So this will become final lap when they cross the line. Another fastest lap for Dylan, 3:40.9 there then. More titles to the Hall of Fame for Dylan. Hirakram half a second back, so not the long straight we're on now, but one he could have an attempt at, but he's just not able to close that gap up enough on Dylan. The gap's still at half a second as they already come into the braking zone. Is Hirakram just hanging on to Dylan, trying to stick with him until they get onto this long straight to have a go, but it's not working at the minute. He's 0.8 of a second back. Dylan is just finding a little bit of time over the Lexus driver. So about 0.8, 0.9 of a second for slipstream. Just in it at the minute for Hirakram. And that long straight is so long that yeah, there's sort of no chance really of defending. You saw Hirakram attempt it, pull over to the right hand side of the circuit to block off the corner, but Dylan was already carrying far too much speed past him. Total Rose, evening. Okay, onto the bridge. Still that gap just at half a second between Dylan and Hirakram. Hirakram keeping himself just in the right position at the minute. Again, whether the Lexus has got the legs to beat the McLaren down that straight is yet to be seen. It did seem pretty fast in a straight line. Dylan does seem to find a couple of tenths through this next corner. Hirakram keeping himself right there, 0.5 of a second as they go through this right-hander. Oh, little clip of the wall. Dylan peels over to the right, doesn't want to give any kind of toe to Hirakram. Gap at 0.4, closing a little bit. Halfway down this straight. Just drops below 0.4. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it is. Even with a toe on Dylan, not able to close the gap up to make the move. Dylan keeping it nice and calm through that corner as well. Into this wiggly last section on circuit. We've got 15 seconds left on the race timer, so this is definitely going to become last lap. Dylan take another 2 wins tonight. Two corners remaining for Dylan. There's one of them. Oh no, Hiracram. Keep it together, Hiracram. Dylan then comes around. Hiracram, drive that car properly, you maniac. Dylan's going to take the win in race 2 here as well then. Hiracram just less than a second behind him. Even with the shenanigans through the last couple of corners. Takes second. It was a good attempt, but unfortunately not enough. Fat Pickles holds on to 3rd position. Don all over the back of him looking for a toe, but it's not going to be enough. Fat Pickles takes 3rd, then Don takes 4th. Fabuki comes home in 5th. Janio 6th. Mocking Weeks in 7th. Tyres absolutely let go. Manny is going to come home in 8th. Again, a no stopper as he just runs out of fuel as he hits this start-finish straight. So he thinks, screw it, I'll grab a great big chunk of handbrake and spin myself around. And then Faithless Emo again, not had a great night tonight. I found him backwards at the end of lap 2 or lap 1. Damaged a long way back as well. So yeah, not a great night for Faithless. He does take 9th tonight though in race 2. Unfortunately, he took 9th in race 1 as well. Again, not the best nights for Faithless. But there we go. Still awesome driving from the Fusion lobby here in the GTTCC. Several different lobbies, all different skill levels. So Fusion lobby being the sort of elite drivers, the best of the best. And it shows Dylan taking 2 wins. Hiracram taking that 2nd in race 2 as well. Good strategy. Managed to get Dylan coming out of the pits, but and a big chunk of it as well. But Dylan just was able to close up on him and take that position back. So there it is, round 6 of the GTTCC done and dusted. Let's just have a look where we are next week. Where are you? There you are. We are that's round 4, there's round 6, there's round 7. We're at Sardegna Road Course B and Dragon Trail Seaside next week. So again, 2 half-hour races for you lot. So that's round 7, and then the finals, round 8, is Red Bull Ring and Lago Maggiore. It's another circuit I quite like. But that's going to be it from me. I am back same time, same place next week for round 7. Again, we just read out where they are. Sardegna and Dragon Trail. But I am also back on Wednesday night, 8:30 for the MRC Team Oliver Racing GT3 League. Again, it's been good so far this season. Quality driving, quality racing in that one. Real close battles as well. So come and check that out. 8:30 on Wednesdays for the GT3s and back at 9 o'clock Fridays for the GT4s. Other than that, that's about it from me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Most of all, tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.